With Ninjala Season 3 in full swing and better than ever, it is that time again, of course, to talk about the prior season of Ninjala. And man, Ninjala Season 2, even saying it now, it's kind of strange. Season 2 of Ninjala was rather quiet. And after the great success that was the first season of Ninjala, Season 2 was looking to be way more hyped up than the last season than Season 1. But did Gung Ho succeed in this goal with Season 2? Well, let's dive right in, and I'll give you my review and take on Ninjala Season 2. Hello ladies and gentlemen and all the core gamers out there, CAJman777 here today to bring you yet another discussion video regarding the now finished Season 2 of Ninjala. Much like the last Ninjala in review, I'll be talking about everything the season did right and wrong in the lead up to Season 3. But once again, I did want to open this discussion up to all of you in the comments section regarding your thoughts and impressions of Season 2, because I'm sure some people enjoyed Season 2 more than others. But of course, before we get into that, if you guys are of course enjoying the Ninjala content on the channel, do me a huge favor and hit that like button, and also hit that subscribe button as we rapidly approach 2,000 subscribers. We are now like less than 30 away from hitting 2,000, so that would be absolutely huge if we could hit that by the end of the year. But with that YouTube jargon out of the way, let's start by talking about Season 2, starting of course with the launch. Much like Ninjala Season 1, Ninjala Season 2 started off strong with the launch of the season's opening video, of course being focused this time around on sports. This video once again was a super stylized video, and it played very well into the theme of Season 2, which I already had mentioned is, well, of course, sports. Not only did this intro video show off the new Gumball Machine items, it showed off the new skateboard weapons, the new outfits of the season pass, and the season looked to be in such a super bright place. And with the collaboration set for the middle of the season featuring Sonic the Hedgehog, it seemed that Season 2 was on its way to be absolutely fantastic. But honestly, while we did get some dev diaries hyping up Season 2 and of course some new things to come in that season, it wasn't long before old problems from Season 1 kind of came back with, you know, modified changes, of course, for Season 2, and we'll be talking about those a little bit later. But with 4 million downloads to its name during the launch of Season 2, the players hoped Ninjala Season 2 would turn for the better. But enough talking about, you know, of course, the negatives of Season 2, as we'll get into that. Instead, let's start with something that Season 2, I think, did really well, which is, of course, their Ninjala Pass. The Season 2 Pass was absolutely incredible compared to Season 1's pass. Compared to the last season's pass in Season 1, the devs of Ninjala really started to get a grasp of what players wanted to see in the season pass, and this was further carried into Season 3, but you'll have to wait until the end of Season 3 before I talk about that one. As I, of course, stated previously, Season 2 had a focus around the theme of sports. This means many of the emotes, outfits, and of course, well, shop items were focused around, and based on things you wear or do in sports, along with some bells and whistles like the epon decorations and stuff as well. This pass also offered more Jala for pass holders, which is the game's premium currency for those who don't know, compared to Season 1, and that has further yet been increased again as of the Season 3 pass as well, as we're about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks now into Season 3. So it's really nice to see the developers understanding that rewarding the players with more of the game's premium currency will not only keep them playing the game, but it will also allow them to spread the word about the game, and of course its customization with that premium currency as well. So overall, I think the pass was rather excellent, and it had some really nice rewards throughout the pass. However, I wasn't entirely happy with what they chose for the Tier 100 costume, but this is my personal preference. It was a pink and white fencer outfit. Now, I don't mind the fencer outfit being white, but the pink, man, it just didn't work. To me, the Tier 100 outfit didn't work. But of course, the game was still young at the launch of Season 2, but so, yeah. However, I will say not everything in that season pass made me happy. You see, when I start up a new season for Ninjala, I, on my Twitch streams, of course, like to review the non-premium pass, and if you're wondering where I do these reviews of the pass, now would probably be a good time to tell you that I do all my streaming over at twitch.tv/CAJman777, so if you're interested in seeing some Ninjala streams and some variety gaming streams, you should head on over there and drop a follow, and hopefully I'll see you at the next stream. But anyways, the non-premium pass, once again, kinda disappointed me in Season 2. Much like in Season 1, the non-premium pass failed to capture my draw, which doesn't look good for the people who can't actually afford the premium pass either. The free pass once again lacked a full outfit, it only gave players 2 emotes, albeit these were some super solid emotes this time around. A head accessory, an Epone decoration, which you didn't unlock until around the 70th tier on the free pass, and of course 200 Jala, which was given to you rather early. And I'd like to stress again that, once again, Ninjala is the game's, or I'm sorry, not Ninjala, but Jala is the game's premium currency, and with only 200 Jala, you can't get much from the game shop at all, or even earn enough Jala to buy the premium pass by the end of the season. So, for the most part, I would say it was better than Season 1's. However, most of this has been remedied in Season 3's pass, and obviously, once again, you'll have to wait for my full review on Season 3 before I go in-depth with that, because, man, Season 3 looking nice. But regardless, the non-premium pass really needed the work in Season 2, and while it wasn't absolutely worth it this time around, it was definitely better than it was in Season 1. However, I still wouldn't recommend, if you're going to play Ninjala for Season 2, just rely on the non-free pass. So I unfortunately wouldn't recommend it at that point. Now, I know I said this in the last review I did, but honestly, I think the biggest change in order to fix this issue is give free pass players 2 things. 1, give them a full outfit that they can grind and unlock when they hit tier 100 at the end of the season. Not like the tier 100 outfit that we get in the premium pass. Kind of do the similar thing where you get like the face piece or the headgear early and then get the outfit later down the line in the pass. And the second thing is give free players enough Jala to buy the premium pass by tier 100. The reason behind this is to give free players a driving force to grind those tiers, knowing that they can buy the pass at the end of the grind. And while, yes, this does mean that everyone could technically have the pass, it doesn't necessarily mean that free players who got the premium pass by tier 100 will have enough Jala to buy the pass next season, especially if they find something really cool in the shop that they want. Other than that, I think the season pass was, handled well. It was a pretty solid pick overall, and it was definitely worth picking up for Season 2. But despite the minor gripe I had with the pass, I mean, what were the other issues that, Season 2 had, like, maybe in regards to rank play, the maps, the shops, and how the game felt overall? Did they fix any of it in Season 2? Well, I mean, they did some of it, but not all of that. So with that being said, we're going to now move on from our Season Pass topic, and we're going to discuss something that was a big issue in Season 1, but not as much of an issue in Season 2, the map drought. I think the biggest contributing factor to why Season 2's maps felt less grindy and boring as they did in Season 1 was due to the introduction of not only the new map Shinobi City, but of course with the introduction of the new class of weapon introduced in Season 2, the skateboards and surfboards. Shinobi City, just to start with, unlike all the other maps in Ninjala, played very differently. In fact, then you could say players on Shinobi City had to adopt an overall new playstyle to really get the hang of the new map. Because Shinobi City is the smallest map in the game, it was super small, and drone spots were not only highly visible, but they were highly contested. This map is one of the maps in the game currently that is more reliant on combat over anything else. No matter where you were on the map or the stage, 9 times out of 10, someone would be able to see you. This faster-paced combat style really gave people more experience with the complicated combat system of Ninjala, which kind of contributed to why the maps felt so boring in Season 1, because there wasn't that approach to go out and fight with combat and stuff. And honestly, I think a lot of players got much better at fighting in Season 2 because of this. But what about, the other 2 maps that we had from Season 1, WNA and Eagle City? Well, I guess you could kind of say the same thing for those as well. While drone spots on the game's 2 original maps weren't nearly as contested by multiple players at once, what really made a big difference on the 2 original maps was the introduction of the skateboard and surfboard weapon classes, because these gave players more mobility. And due to giving the players more mobility, the maps felt more accessible, they felt more open, and the game felt faster overall, with more combat, of course, happening frequently. Eagle City actually felt like an incredibly fantastic map with this increased mobility in many players' eyes, of course, just due to that mobility. However, it wasn't just, the map improvements and the mobility that really kind of added to, I think, Season 2's overall feel, and why I think Season 2 did a much better job handling it than Season 1. You see, the Devs of Ninjala had a new special mode, a new featured mode, planned for players about midway through the season, which we heard about in Developer Diary 9, known as Released the Beast. Of course, this dev diary also highlighted the collab of Season 2, which I will be talking about in the next section, but we got a dev diary specifically for this new feature battle system, Release the Beast, prior to the game's website, updating us, telling us when the first edition of the mode would be playable. Basically, the way this mode works was it is a brand new map that could, it was a brand new mode that could only be played on Shinobi City, and it functioned much like a game of tag. As a Shinobi Beast, if you were a Shinobi Beast at the beginning of a round, your job was not to become a beast, basically by running around and trying to find players and e-poning them. And unlike the Shinobi Beast special from the skateboard, this Shinobi Beast type specifically for this mode would one-shot ninjas, but obviously it could only be used in this mode. Conversely, if you were a ninja, your job was to avoid the beasts in this mode. You could grab S energy orbs to not only gain points and keep yourself moving around the map, you could also taunt the Shinobi beasts to gain points as well by standing still and constantly taunting. For this mode, you would also unlock a new piece of faceplate gear for your ninja while you were playing it too. However, you did have to play it quite frequently because it wasn't a guaranteed drop. It's like a random drop chance. But overall, the random drop actually was pretty fair, and many people came away with the new face mask. This mode, as I said, launched midway through the season and was first able to be played by many players on October 2nd of 2020. The mode, in many people's eyes, was quirky and fun, and it was so highly regarded that the devs of Ninjala brought this mode back basically every single weekend in October to the end of the season. So, as you can see, just by adding one singular map and a new mode, it kept players entertained for Season 2 for pretty much the rest of the season, effectively removing the map and play drought. And of course, with new maps being added every season, as they said before, and new modes hopefully to come as well, the map drought will eventually just not exist at all in the game, and that is absolutely fantastic. So I think they've done a really good job with maps specifically in Season 2. However, I did mention it a little bit, but there's one more thing people were waiting for in Season 2, and that, of course, was the Sonic the Hedgehog collab. This was a collaboration many Ninjala players knew about since the data mine from back in the beta of Ninjala. And many people were extremely excited for this collab. And many of us were actually kind of speculating if like Sonic or other Sonic characters would make an appearance in the game. On September 9th of 2020, we got our answer along with the addition of Release the Beast in Dev Diary 9. The devs first started this Dev Diary by announcing the mode of Release the Beast, but then they immediately moved on to the collab, and unfortunately, the devs did say that Sonic himself or other Sonic characters would not be appearing in the game itself, but it's not actually as much of a downside as I think most of us thought. You see, a lot of time and effort was put into this collaboration for Season 2, as players in Ninjala for this collaboration, we not only got music that sounded like it was straight out of a classic Sonic game, but we got outfits, Eppones, Inut Semi, and stickers representing Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Eggman. It was actually really just like the main four, if you really think about it. The outfits on top of that were also fully animated to an extent when performing actions, like Tails' tails would move when you like dove into the ground with the drill, or they'd spin in circles when you'd spin with the hammer. Sonic's quills would kind of like wave in the wind when you were standing there emoting, and it was a little weird. I would say that the outfits didn't turn us outright into the characters themselves, but obviously for copyright reasons, you can't necessarily do that because you would need the rights. But honestly, being able to wear Sonic shoes in a match with just a Sonic hat, and then you just put the camera behind your character, it made you look exactly like the character. So honestly, I have no complaints personally about the collab. I think the collab in Season 2 was an absolutely fantastic thing, and definitely a way to spice up a little bit of Season 2 in Ninjala. A very good attention to detail came when it came to the costumes, and it was a great collab. And even Gab, Siren, Skull, and myself, we really got into the collab as well. In fact, we did a whole stream where Siren's dressed up as Tails and I was dressed up as Sonic. It was really cool. In Season 2, of course, this collaboration ran from September 23rd to October 21st, 2020. And I know, of course, as I've said many times, that many people already enjoyed it. However, there was one particular issue with this collab, and it's kind of been an issue with most of the shop items in general. And that's the shop prices, specifically for not only the collab outfits, but outfits in the game. Outfits in the game. You see, 1,000, or I'm sorry, not 1,000, but 100 Jala equates to about $1 American dollar. But for any collaboration outfit, it costs 2,000 Jala. That's $20 for one outfit. It was 60 if you wanted all three, and like 100 if you wanted everything in the collab. And you know what's funny? It's not even just that the collab items have this issue. Some of the shop items have this issue as well, and obviously, the biggest and easiest way to fix this on the dev side is to lower the shop prices in general. But I think the big thing that players are kind of overlooking here is that Ninjala is a free-to-play game at the end of the day. So, at the end of the day, they need to make monetary value somehow. Are the costumes a little expensive? Yeah, absolutely. But the devs, as I said, would still have to keep those shop prices high enough to still make monetary value on a free-to-play game. I'm not particularly asking for a change on this. I know many people are asking for a change of this, but I'm not entirely opposed either to lowering the shop prices a small amount to not only keep the developers of the game happy, but keep the players happy as well. In fact, this little shop and price issue, honestly, this is a very small issue for me in Season 2. I think the much bigger issue I had in Season 2 was the lack of patches for Season 2, because we only got one. Ninjala Season 2, as I said, was an extremely quiet season overall. Besides the collab and the new mode that was introduced, it was mainly because the game still didn't feel balanced, that I think a lot of people had issues with the lack of patches in Season 2. Many players of Ninjala were wondering when the game was going to get its next balance patch or even a ranked fix, but unfortunately, the ranked fix in Season 2 never came. This was actually a big blow to all the competitive Ninjala players out there, such as myself, the Warriors Pit Discord, and many others who strive for a challenge in the ranked scene of the game. With no ranked fix, I should say, ranked once again was a slog to those who continued to play ranked. Now, you may have noticed I said continued to play ranked, because at the start of Season 2, everybody's ranks were not reset. So Ninja Gods remained Ninja Gods, Legendary Ninjas remained Legendary Ninjas, everybody stayed their own rank. Inherently, I will say this probably wasn't that bad of a thing, because of what the devs of Ninjala announced just before the close of Season 2, and after we got the patch. I will be talking about the patch in a moment, but I think the biggest thing that really came for us ranked players in, of course, Season 2 was right at the end of the season. They said during the start of Season 3, rankings would be adjusted accordingly, and this, ladies and gentlemen, was the news many of us were waiting for. The devs themselves wouldn't reset the ranks without a good reason, and the fact that they didn't in Season 2 told us that there was a ranked system fix on the horizon for Season 3. And while many players all eagerly awaited this change, there was another issue, of course, as I mentioned, that was brought up weeks prior to the ranked announcement for Season 3, and that was the single patch that we got throughout Season 2. And I'm not talking about matchmaking patch. I'm talking about balance changes, UI changes, stuff like that. We got one patch for the entire season. The devs, once again, were very quiet about Season 2 when updating the game. Many of us, I think, at one point in Season 2, and I think many of us did at one point in Season 2, figure that they were putting all their assets on Season 3. And while, yes, they were, as I will talk about in my Season 3 review, which will obviously be the next review after this one when Season 3 is over, because we got some time before that one. I will say it probably didn't look very good on the developer side of things to just drop one patch for the season midway through the season, rather than adjust, minor problems here and there that probably should have been being adjusted. It almost felt like the devs kind of gave up on Season 2 compared to Season 1, which is rather strange. Season 1, we got patch after patch and many balance changes. Season 2, it didn't have that. Instead, the patch contained one massive weapon balance change to the skate and sushi axe hammers, which had been absolutely running rampant in the ranked and free match scene because of their ridiculous drone killing speed, and I don't know why they haven't done it yet, or even if they're going to do it in Season 3, but they really need to lower the amount of points you get from breaking or hitting drones. This is a battle royale. You should be able to win by battling the other players, not drone running. Makes sense, right? Yeah, in my eyes, at least, it makes sense. Of course, I mean, there were other small things in this patch. This was the patch that, of course, introduced the featured battle mode, released the beast, as well as multiple UI changes. And I will say, I think the UI changes for Season 2 were actually super solid, a very good step in the right direction. A lot of things were very easy to access at that point. Season 3 only made it better, as we're currently sitting in Season 3, and obviously we'll get to that. But I think the huge thing that really came out of Season 2 was the start of the UI balance introduction. You can now try on clothing in the shop as well, which is a thing people had been asking for. Weapon skins got addressed a little bit later, and we'll talk about that as when time goes on. But overall, this patch only really had one major change, and it wasn't necessarily the best change, but you could see that the devs of Ninjala were kind of taking it easy with Season 2 because they put everything onto Season 3. This patch very specifically ended up dropping on October 1st of 2020, and as I said, it was the only patch we got in the season. And obviously, from what I'm telling you, it was clear that not only to me, but to many others, that Ninjala was focused on mainly really improving their next season over Season 2. However, I can't say this was an entirely bad decision because I am not a game developer. I think at this point, the devs knew that they had to focus on what's more important for Season 3, and that's mainly why there was a lack of patches in Season 2. So, you know, I applaud them for taking the initiative to, like, move forward with the season, because obviously in a season-based game, you always got to be looking ahead to the next season. But I just feel like the lack of patches and balance changes kind of hurt a little bit, and I feel like we should have gotten more information on why they weren't doing that. Overall, though, I would say Ninjala Season 2 was a slight step up in the right direction, of course, for the developers over there at Gung Ho. With 5 million downloads by the end of Season 2, Ninjala definitely still seemed to be going places. Their grasp on the fan base was absolutely incredible, and by continuing to listen to the fan feedback, the game is still only just going to get better. If I had to rate my overall experience, of course, with Season 2, I would definitely say it's definitely a step up from Season 1, landing itself a score of a solid score, I should say, of 7 out of 10. But as of right now, as of when I record this audio, and we're 2 weeks into Season 3, Season 3 is by far my favorite season so far. And that really goes to tell you how much has actually improved from Season 2 to Season 3. But unfortunately, I am actually all out of time for this video, so thank you all for taking time out of your day to listen to a video like this one, more of a discussion-based thing in my kind of like review on Season 2. But of course, I hope you all enjoyed the video about Ninjala Season 2. If you think I missed anything, please let me know in the comments section below. Not only what you thought of Season 2, but as I said, if I missed anything, please let me know. Hit me with your knowledge. I wish to learn the knowledge from other players' perspectives, because it's nice to see, you know, what the community thinks of this game as it continues to grow, and as, you know, we go through Season 3 in the future seasons as well. But of course, before I go, I'd like to just remind you that if you've enjoyed the video, you gotta do me a favor. You know where this is going. We're going to the YouTube jargon again. Just hit the like button and subscribe button. Just do it. Just do it, please, for my sake. Please just do it. But other than that, I of course have to take this opportunity to thank my donators over there on Patreon who have supported the channel for years. MickeyPhorGens, Thomas, and Styleno for their continued support. And of course, guys, until then, this is CAJ Man 777 signing off. Stay safe, everybody.